won't none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ the Tar Heel. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the 3-0 North Carolina Tar Heels headed to Nassau, Bahamas for the battle for Atlantis, which is obviously a 3-day tournament in paradise. The other 7 teams in the tournament are Arkansas, Memphis, Michigan, Stanford, Texas Tech, and Villanova. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of this tournament, let's take a look at the updated college basketball rankings. Now, the North Carolina Tar Heels shoot up to number 14 in the entire country in both the AP and the coaches poll. Arkansas checks in at number 20, and they're the only other team in this tournament that is currently ranked. So let's take a look at the number 14 North Carolina Tar Heels opening matchup in the battle for Atlantis. And they pull the 1-2 Northern Iowa Panthers out of the Missouri Valley Conference. Now, UNC and UNI have met a total of 3 times on the hardwood, with the most memorable of those games, unfortunately, being in 2015. In a game that was supposed to be a homecoming game of sorts for star guard Marcus Page, he was unable to play due to a broken hand, and UNI shocked the country and your boy Russ the Tar Heel by beating number 1 North Carolina 71-67 in Des Moines. I still remember the gut punch feeling like it was yesterday. You know, obviously Marcus didn't play, but you just kind of think, hey, we're the number 1 North Carolina Tar Heels. We'll make it happen. And we weren't able to get it done. Now, North Carolina did get its revenge on December 21st, 2016 by whooping up on the Panthers 85-42. And again on November 10th, 2017, the following year, 86-69. So let's take a look at those Northern Iowa Panthers in 2023. UNI is led by head coach Ben Jacobson, who boasts a 291 and 174 record, which is good for a 625 winning percentage through 14 seasons on the bench at UNI. Now, UNI's leading scorer, rebounder, assist guy, steals, and blocks, all of them, is 6'5", 205-pound junior guard Nate Heiss, who's averaging 14.3 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game, and 3.3 assists. Heiss is shooting 51.5% from the field and 33.3% from beyond the arc. Thus far, the Panthers opened their season with an 83-77 overtime loss to North Texas before winning their home opener 90-50 against the Loras Duhawks. They then followed that up by losing at South Florida 74-65 to bring their record to 1-2 on the season. UNI is currently averaging 77.3 points per game while giving up 69. Now, watching a little of the North Texas game, their first game of the season, what I just happened to notice is that they run a ton of motion and they use a lot of off-the-ball screens to get their guys open on pop-outs. So Carolina's going to have to do a great job of fighting through those screens or communicating on the switch, as we all know that defending the 3-ball is not necessarily UNC's strong suit. Last thing we need is a UNI team that is outmatched athletically to get hot from beyond the arc, especially being that Carolina has not been shooting the ball as we anticipate that they will by year's end. And now for the good guys. The number 14 North Carolina Tar Heels are led by head coach Hubert Davis, who is 52-23, good for a 693 winner percentage in his 3rd year at his alma mater. The North Carolina Tar Heels' leading scorer and rebounder is preseason All-ACC and preseason All-American 6'11", 240-pound forward Armando Bacot, who was averaging 22.7 points per game and 13.3 rebounds per game. He's currently shooting 61% from the field and 85% from the free throw line. So his first 3 games, he has been red hot. 6 foot, 180-pound guard RJ Davis is UNC's second leading scorer, averaging 14.3 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He's shooting 43.6% from the field, and he's only shooting 27.8% from behind the arc, which is going to have to drastically improve in order for the Heels to do something special this year. 6'5", 195-pound senior guard Cormac Ryan is currently leading the team with 3 assists per game. Now, Cormac is only shooting 28.6% from the field himself and 21.4% from 3, which also needs to improve. A really good bright spot early in the season is the play of 6'7" junior forward Harrison Ingram, who is averaging 12 points per game and 6.7 rebounds. He's looking really good with his back to the basket and has the body and frame to back down smaller opponents under the basket and get really good looks. He's shooting 45.2% from the field and 33.3% from 3. The Heels are averaging 84.3 points per game, and they're giving up 63.3 points per game. So what are the 3 things that I'll be looking for in this game? Number 1, how do the Heels fare away from the Dean Dome? This will literally be the first time that this group has traveled away from Chapel Hill since being together. How do they fare away from the friendly confines of the Smith Center? Now, obviously, we aren't expecting any hostile crowds per se, but how do the Heels generate their own energy without the fans in the Smith Center? Number 2, I want to see, can we knock down some threes? I would imagine that UNI will attempt to pack it down and keep Bacot from going off against an overmatched opponent down low on the blocks. Can the Heels finally start knocking down threes consistently? I need to see RJ, Cormac, Harrison, Jalen Washington especially consistently make teams pay from beyond the arc. We know that Bacot is a low down low, but like last year, if we can't prove that we can shoot the ball from 3 and consistently knock them down, teams are going to begin to pack it down on number 5, and our offense will begin to sputter. Number 3, how will the bench rotation look during a 3-day tournament? With the added depth, how will Coach Davis utilize his bench, knowing that the Heels play 3 games in 3 days? Obviously, the goal is to win out and hoist that trophy at the end. Has Coach Davis settled on his go-to lineups? Can the Heels open it up against UNI early to rest some legs for the latter days? All these things are going to be interesting things that I'm watching as this tourney progresses, which leads us to Russ's score prediction. Now, Nate Heiss is the key to this UNI basketball team. If you stop Nate Heiss, then you severely hamper their ability to stay with you throughout this basketball game. The little bit that I have watched of UNI, I've noticed that in their motion sets, they run a ton of off-the-ball screens. So Carolina's going to have to communicate whether they're switching or whether they're staying with their guy. Communication is going to be key. Now, being that this is Carolina's first time as a team, as a unit, away from the Dean Dome, away from Chapel Hill, they haven't really shot the ball very well at home where they practice. It'll be interesting to see how that translates into another country during a tournament, playing some stiffer competition throughout the next 3 days, if you will. So call it a hunch, but I got to see it to believe it. I'm taking Carolina in a much closer game than we would all like. 77-70. Don't be surprised if you have to buckle your seatbelt for the entire 40 minutes in this one. So let me know what you think down in the comments section, Tar Heel Nation. Am I onto something, or am I sitting all the way down at the far end of the bench? Comment down in the comment section and let me know what you think. And don't forget, baby, we will be live tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. for the live stream. We'll go until about 1:15-ish because, unfortunately, your boy has to go to work shortly after that, so I'm not going to be able to catch the whole game, but you need to come out and hang out with me anyway. At least catch the first half and some change with your boy. And be on the lookout for the reaction video very late tomorrow night. I'll get it done after I get off of work, and then I'll also preview Carolina's next matchup the day after, which we will not have a live stream for due to work conflictions. So, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe to the content, become a member of the Huddle Hooligans to help support the channel. Heels about to go out there and battle for Atlantis. I love you guys, and we will catch you on the next one, Tar Heel Nation.
I'm a Tar Heel!